So let's consider our current situation in water situation in Australia as well. So in fact, Australia is considered as the driest inhabited continent in the world. So when we say driest inhabited continent, it means the driest continent with people or inhabitants. But even though we are one of the driest, or even we are the driest, Australians are one of the highest water consumers in the world as well. So we are quite affluent people. We try to use our water as much as we can. We are lucky enough that we can have water by just the turn of our taps, and we have also high quality water and we can drink directly from the tap. But we also use so much water in our everyday life, so we have also one of the highest water consumers. In terms of precipitation or average rainfall, we are also receiving declining rainfall in Australia because of some factors, especially on climate change. So from 1,200 millimeters of precipitation, it came down to an average of around 700 millimeters now. And in fact, in 2019, we have one of the lowest precipitations we had is 277 millimeters. And as you could have experienced before, it was so dry last year that we had experienced a lot of bushfire problems. So that's why, because we had no rain in the whole year last year. Another factor for this consumption that we have in Australia is the increasing population that we have. Right now, we are around 25 million people, and it's still increasing. And for this, out of our water consumption, the distribution would be 70% of what we are consuming actually goes to agriculture. And 14% of the water is actually for freshwater use. These are for domestic activities like in our houses. And 16% of that is for energy and industry, for manufacturing processes. When the Australia is one of the nations that we experience drought in more like a cycle. It happens every few years, and the last one would be the drought in Millennium Drought in the year 2000. That's why during that time we didn't have much rain, and so that the government decided to build desalination plant to augment the supply of potable water. But then suddenly the rain came, and so the desalination plant was on standby until last year. Last year we also experienced quite a dry year, and so our dam levels went below the safe level, and it went below 60% of the capacity of the dam. And usually, if it goes below 60%, then usually the desalination plant is activated. So during that time, the dam level went really below 50%, and so the desalination plant was reactivated, and now it's producing water as an augmentation to our drinking water. There are during this drought, or during this time that we have some water shortage, with the government or the Sydney Water is actually giving some water restrictions, and it is different levels. So this is level 1, 2, and 3, based on depending on the availability of the water in the dams. So last year we were on level 2 of the water restriction because of really low dam capacity now, but dam level I mean. But then right now at the present we are back to level 1 because a lot of rain came in the first few months of this year. So a lot of rain came, and so our dam levels went back to around 80%. But still there is a level 1 restriction because we are not really sure. It's like a temporary relief. For example, if the rains were temporary relief, we don't know how long it will last to maintain that level in the dam. So there are still restriction level at this point, but these levels are a way to secure the way we control our outdoor use of drinking water. So we're trying to control it. So the different levels of restriction means different how excessive the restriction would be. Like for example, with the use of water to water your garden or to fill up your swimming pool or even to wash your car. So it depends on the different levels of restriction. So this goes to show that because of the cycle of the water shortage in Australia in some few years, then we need a source of a water resource that could supply or can provide security in the future, for example. And one of the approaches was on desalination, which we are going to deal with our lectures or our class. And also another way is to use wastewater as an alternative source of non-potable reuse water or probably even for potable use water. So we will be discussing those technologies in our class.